You and me?
You and me. You have one of the biggest shows on television. So what's this time kind of been like for you?
It's been good, to say the least. I've never done this before where you build something from the ground up. So that's been kind of an interesting, fun new project for me to see something from its inception all the way to what you hope would be a show, and then what you hope would be something that's on the air for more than a year to something that is actually, #1 on television. So that's been kind of jarring in a good way, and very gratifying, and something that I hope I can do over and over again.
I don't really know how this works.
I get paid only in success. I just think it's strange. Doors left wide open, cell phones left behind.
You on the job? Retired cop? PI?
No, collect rewards actually.
You collect rewards.
Pre-Tracker, you were already on one of the biggest shows in television history, and This Is Us. But obviously that was an ensemble show, and I guess you share the praise, or the praise gets kind of spread around, at least on camera.
Yeah.
What's it like being kind of like the sole focus of a hit show?
It's different in a lot of ways, similar in a lot of ways. The ways that it's different, obviously it's more time consuming, and being an executive producer as well, you're wearing many different hats, and you start to realize that something like This Is Us, when you look at that, and like you said, on camera you share the praise. When you EP the show and you are behind the scenes, you realize there are hundreds of people that are making this engine work. Not that that's new information to me, but it's just sort of something that's been refreshed in my brain every time I go to work. I realize that there is a lot of cogs in this machine making it work,
In terms of like your executive producer duties,
Yep.
like how do you split them between because it's almost two full-time jobs in one, right?
Yeah.
Executive producing and starring in the show.
Yeah.
So how are you able to, I guess, just make all of it work?
It's a good team behind me. I rely and lean on a lot of people when I'm on camera. My time also, obviously when I'm on camera, my time, I have to be there. I can only be in one place. I can't do two things at once. I think that would, I don't know. I never want to leave work, leave a scene thinking that, I wish I had more time with it, or I wish I didn't have so many things on my plate or on my mind. I like to just do that one thing while I'm doing that. Mm-hmm. It's the least I can do. And so while I'm doing that, I'm leaning on other people. And then we just kind of, we have really good communication, and I always know what's going on, and we chat, we talk a lot.
There's this thought that network TV isn't a thing anymore with streaming, like it doesn't hold as much weight, but I think your show has shown that like it does. So where is the key to success? Like, how have you guys been able to attract a big, television audience and then retain it? Besides your good looks, of course.
No, you know what I think it is? I think it's, and I don't know. I don't know, but I tell you what I think. I think that it's dedication and effort, and really believing in the story that you want to tell, and believing that it's a story that other people want to hear, and having a reason why. Always having a reason why. And also, why now? Why right now? Why is it so important right now? And if you answer those questions, you're well on your way, I think, to finding something that might possibly, maybe, have a chance at succeeding. And I think that's streaming and network television, and I think it's all the same thing. We also live in a world where we're very lucky. We're on CBS, and then we are immediately then streamed on Paramount Plus. So we kind of live in both of those worlds, which is really, really cool. So we can push the boundaries sometimes where otherwise you might not be able to. Because I want my show to look a certain way. I want it to feel a certain way. I want the music to be a certain way. I don't want the music to drown out the performance. I don't think we need a lot of music. I would say that music is like, in a show is like, to me anyway, the score on a show is like, it has to be impactful, but I don't want our music to tell our audience how they're supposed to be feeling 3 seconds from now. So I want it to be like impactful, right? Like a boom, right? And like hearing your mother curse. It just never happens, right? But when she does, everyone's like this.
Everyone stops.
That's the music that I want, right? I don't want it to be like, oh, he's and nothing's happened yet. He hasn't picked up the phone yet. We're telling their audience how to feel. I'm not a big fan of that. So we try to do that. And then we're very, I think, in sync. All the producers, I think, we're very in sync, as is the network and the studio, with what the show should look like and feel like, and we've been very lucky in that regard.
What's it been like? Because obviously you're not old, but experiencing so much success.
Thank you for that.
You're
Thanks,
not.
man. Well, I'm older than I was last time I saw
Oh,
you.
last time, but experiencing like this level of success with This Is Us and now Tracker, you know, not as a young 20-something.
Yeah.
You know, because this level of success is different. You've been in Hollywood a long time.
Yeah, it's man, it ended up working out great. So my career has gone, it's been very interesting. I was able to dip my toe in, and then my foot, and then get up to my knees, and then my waist, and then my chest, and then so I slowly was able to feel all of this, which I think is a blessing that a lot of young Hollywood actors don't get. They kind of get thrown in there, some of them. And some of them handle it so well. It's incredible. It's like overnight, and it's not overnight for them. I know the drill. I know they've been working their tails off for years, but to the world, it's overnight, right? And they handle it so well, and others don't, unfortunately. But for me, I've been lucky. I got to just gradually kind of see what was going on. I did soap operas, then I did guest stars, then I had a couple of failed pilots, then I did Smallville, then I did, you know, Revenge and Mistresses. Then I got my own show, and then I was on an ensemble show, then I was on a hit show, then I got my own hit show. So it's been a slow kind of burn for me, and I've had a lot of successes along the way and a lot of failures along the way. So I've seen it all. I've felt it all. I felt the pressure of being 30-something and being like, what have I done with my life? I don't know how I'm going to make money. To not have, you know, having to worry about that. So it's just, you know, everyone's different. But for me, I've had to answer your question, I've had a slow kind of rise here, and so it's been more comfortable, I would say, than maybe others.
Were there ever times when you were younger, like why isn't this happening yet? Like, why haven't I reached X level of success yet?
Man, you know, and maybe that's why I didn't so early. I never had I never thought of it that way. Maybe I should have, but I never thought of it that way. I was always just so happy to have the opportunity that I had. I was also a very young dad, so I was raising a daughter and doing all of that kind of stuff, and I love acting so much. I love being on the stage. I love being on a sound stage. I love being around creative people, and I was just absorbing it, sucking it all in. I guess I didn't have the chance to think like that, but I'm grateful that I didn't, because I enjoyed all of it, and I remember almost all of it, which is incredible because I don't have the greatest memory, but I remember almost all of the work that I've done, which is astounding, actually, like unbelievable.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
In terms of like performing on the show, now you do a lot of your own stunts on Tracker, right?
I try to do all of them.
Why?
You know, because I love directors. I love directing as well, and I understand it to the point where I just feel like if I can give a performance, if I can do it, I'll do it. And we have a great, first of all, I don't do it alone. We have a great stunt team. I have a great stunt double, and what they'll do is they put it all together for me. They put it into a video for me. They shoot the whole thing, and then they show it to me. They slow it down, and I'm watching the video. So I've seen it, you know, 30, 40 times, and then I rehearse it over and over and over again. So they're doing it as well. Like my stunt double is working all week to make sure that I can do this stunt, right? And he knows my body, and they know what I can and cannot do. So they're doing all the work. At the end of the day, when the camera's rolling, though, I love giving the director the opportunity to shoot whatever he or she wants to shoot without worrying about having to cut away from something because it's not me, or I can't show his face. If they can just shoot whatever they want and it's me, to me that's the purest form of the art, and that's the way to do it. I'm not saying I would do something that's so dangerous that or something that I can't do. I'm not too proud. I will be like, I can't do that. That's going to break me in half. I'll let Jordan do that. But for the most part, the way that we do it is they lead the whole week. They give me the thing, and then, you know, when it's time to do it at the very end, I'm able to do it. So we work together on it. But I guess the best way for us to do it. Other shows are different. When I was on Smallville, I had a stunt double that did a lot of the stunts. I did a lot of them also, but he did a lot of them. And then there are certain things that you just aren't allowed to do, you know, insurance-wise. So.
What's your training regiment like? I'm just curious.
I try to keep it interesting. I try to do different things. I try not to, I mean, my workouts will be different probably every day, you know, depending on how I feel and what I think I need to work on. I've learned that the things that I need to work on are the things that I find probably the most difficult. They're the hardest ones to do. And I've learned that about myself just in recent years, like in the past maybe 5-6 years. I'm like, you know what it is? You know why I suck at that so much? It's because I never do it. The reason I never do it is because I suck at it. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? And I just decided, well, just go in and stink at it, and then maybe we'll get better at it. So that's kind of what I do. I try to stretch a lot more than I used to. You don't want to get injured. If you get injured, then you're shutting down production. So that's the main thing, is just to stay healthy.
Yeah, a lot of us suck at things because we're either not good or don't like to do them. So we don't do them.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to get ahead of it or let it beat you?
Yeah. So at this point, are you getting recognized more for Tracker or for This Is Us?
At this point, it's Tracker, I would say, because I think, you know, we live in a world where it's out of sight, out of mind. Tracker's on the air right now, and This Is Us has been off the air for a few years, so it's mostly Tracker, I would say.
In terms of like This Is Us, what did you learn from that show? And obviously you've been in the business a long time, that you took into Tracker.
The culture, the culture, it was really important for me. When I started This Is Us, I couldn't believe the culture. And it started with Dan Fogelman, the creator. And everyone, and I think the cast was a little bit, like you said, a little bit older. We weren't in our 20s. We were in our late 30s, early 30s to late 30s, depending on, you know, which cast member. And we had all kind of been there, done that. We had all failed. We had all, you know, gone like this in our careers, some way up here, some way down there, and, you know, some in between. And we all knew what we had. We all realized how special this was. Dan, the creator, it was really personal to him. The directors that came in, our crew, everybody knew how special the show was. And I'd been on shows, it was sort of like that, but never to that level, not to where everyone was like, this is really special. And it was important for me to bring that culture to Tracker. And we have that, and it's great. And because we're outside a lot, and the weather stinks a lot, and it's dark, and sometimes it's dark when you go to work, and then it's dark when you leave, and long hours, and it's grueling. The schedule can be really grueling and challenging, but it's privilege. And everybody knows it. Everybody. And it's a wonderful group of people. And somehow we've managed, Ken Olin and I have managed to, with Elwood Reed, we have managed to sort of instill that culture into our cast and our crew. And the studio helps, and the network helps. And we've just had it makes everything so much easier. It just becomes a labor of love at that point.
When you talk about culture, and going back to This Is Us, like, do you still keep in touch with the cast? Or
yeah, all the time. Yeah. I actually saw Sterling, was it yesterday? No, the day before yesterday, I saw him. I popped by, I had a little thing on the lot. He was working, and I kind of snuck in his stage. He's shooting Paradise. I kind of snuck in there and surprised him. But yeah, I see them. I love them. They're all great.
That's awesome. Everybody seems to be doing well.
Yeah, everyone's doing good.
All right, lastly, as we're wrapping up, Brideheart. That's coming. Tell me about that.
Brideheart is coming, I think, June 20th.
I look like the dancing girl emoji.
Hey, I saw that cool trick you did with the bamboo.
I was just seeing how hard I could blow. Turns out quite hard.
Yeah, no, it's a Rebel Wilson led action comedy. I got a call about it. I was thrilled to do it. It's a great cast. A lot of really great, funny people, and I got a chance to go in there and work for a few days and laugh with those people. So anytime I get a chance to work with them, I will absolutely do it. It's a lot of fun. And she plays this. I don't want to give anything away, but she's sort of. It takes the main theme of the movie, I guess, is like there's a big wedding happening, and something awful happens. And there's like a hostage situation, and chaos ensues, and there's guns and violence, and there's explosions and comedy, and it's hopefully a fun ride.
I mean, you know, you've done several comedic movies, yet your last, at least two most prominent roles have been very dramatic. So can you just talk about balancing, you know, the drama with the fun, and what does comedy give you?
Comedy gives me everything. If it were up to me, that's all I would do. But then, you know, I love a great dramatic role as well. I really do. I don't know. You know, if I think about only doing comedy, then I think I would really miss drama. If I think about only doing drama, I definitely would miss comedy. One of the great things about This Is Us, we got to do a little bit of both, right? It was mostly drama, but Kevin was pretty funny, I thought.
Especially as the Manny.
Yes, as the Manny. Yeah, exactly. Which he did not handle well. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about, isn't there, making someone laugh when you know that you made their day brighter? Mm-hmm. I don't know, that's something special. These people that make us laugh, they're saints, you know. So hopefully I'll always be dabbling in the comedy space. I love doing a comedy movie. They're so fun. You just go there, you have a blast. I probably blow half my takes because I'm laughing myself, but it ends up being something that's such a great experience. You know, you just want to keep coming back for more.
And this is your second time working with Rebel, right?
Second, I think. Yeah, second.
Second.
Yeah.
Talk about the chemistry with you all, because on screen it seems like you said, it's just you're having a blast.
I have an absolute blast with her. She is one of the funniest humans, just naturally funny. She's just, she's this really kind, bright woman who can be serious, but just really, I think, gets a kick out of life and loves working. I love being around her, and we have a really good time together. The first time we met on set was sort of an odd experience. I was like, or the interaction between the two characters was so interesting. It was so odd, and we just kind of got it. We hit it off right away, and I've always sort of I've been fond of her for years, but even after meeting her especially.
So I guess after Tracker, hopefully Tracker has a long life, but after that, we'll see you in your sitcom.
You know what? That's a deal.
Seems like you were going to say more, but I'm not going to push it.
No, I would love to. I've got a couple of ideas, but yeah, I think Tracker might have a few more years left in it, hopefully. But yeah, that'd be fun. You know, I'd like to do an action comedy of my own. I would love to do a movie, like a buddy comedy. I think that would be great.
I could definitely see you doing
Yeah, I'd like to enlist, I could see a couple of my old This Is Us stars, This Is Us cast members maybe joining me in that one. That would be fun.
That's awesome, man. All right, thanks for the time.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you.